This tutorial will help you to learn mathematical formulation of linear programming. In operation research, if you want to define the problem, you want to make a mathematical formulation for the problem. Why should we make mathematical formulation? Means most of the operation research tools will applicable by mathematical models which are developed by someone. Okay, to apply for those mathematical models, we want to convert real life problem into mathematical formulation. So real life problem, after converting real life problem into mathematical formulation, then only you can apply to the respected techniques available in operation research. Today we will learn how to form a mathematical formulation of linear programming problem. So I have selected a problem for my mathematical formulation. In this, a small scale industry manufactures two products, which means product A and product Q and product P. Okay, so which are processed in machine shop and assembly shop. Very importantly, we have two types of product produced manufacturing in some industry, that's product P and Q, and those products are processed in machine shop and assembly shop. This is very clear. Okay, continuing further, there is information regarding product P and Q and machine shop and assembly shop. Product P requires 2 hours of work in machine shop. Product P requires 2 hours of work in machine shop and 4 hours in assembly shop to manufacture, and while product Q requires 3 hours in machine shop and 2 hours in assembly shop. Okay, so one more thing, in one day industry can't use more than 16 hours of machine shop and 22 hours of assembly shop. Okay, which means available capacity, only the available capacity, and it earns a profit of 3 rupees per unit of product P and 4 rupees per unit of product Q. So we have information regarding two types of product and machine shop and assembly shop, and required work in machine shop and assembly shop for product P and Q, and available capacity for machine shop and assembly shop, and product profit per unit of product P and product Q. So what they are asking you to do is make a mathematical formulation of the problem so as to maximize the profit. Okay, in this case we have to make a maximization, optimal decision have to make maximization, because they have given profit information. In this situation you have to make a maximization of problem. Maximization of problem means after solving the problem you will have alternative course of action. In that, maximum amount of course of action you have to take. In case of minimization, lesser the amount you will select. In case of maximization, greater the amount you will select. Okay, so for this let us make a mathematical formulation there. Here I have copied the same problem which we just read now. Okay, and now I will attempt to make a mathematical formulation. In the mathematical formulation we will have objective function, subject to constraint, and non-negative. Three things are very important in any mathematical formulation. These are properties of mathematical formulation. This is a typical model to apply to any linear programming problems. Okay, one is objective function, second one is subject to constraint, and one more thing is non-negative. So firstly let us make a objective function, formulation of objective function. In this industry there are two types of product P and product Q. Okay, then to indicate mathematically, let us assume product P and Q as product X and Y, just X and Y. What is that? Instead of product P and Q, I am assuming that X and Y. So here it means we have two variables in this case. Those variables are decisions variable. Very importantly, understand, X and Y are the decision variable, because only two types of products are there on which only you have to take decision. Okay, so objective function is, it is the ultimate aim of the problem. Okay, whether to maximize, whether to minimize. Objective function, optimum decision you have to take. So in the objective function, the decisions variable will be there along with the decisions variable. What is the main intention of the given problem will be there. So here profit, you have to make a maximization of profit. So profit from product X, product P and Q. P and Q renamed as X and Y, okay, which means in the objective function the profit information and two product information must be there, okay. Suppose Z is the profit function, okay, since we have considered 1 unit of product P and 1 unit of product Q, which gives 3 and 4 rupees per unit, okay. Look at here, it earns a profit of 3 rupees of product P. Product P gives 3 rupees per unit of production and 4 rupees per unit of production for product Q, okay. Then can't we express in this way? That means maximization due to profit we have to make a maximization. 3 from product P, P means X, 3x, 3 rupees. So from product P, P is X, 3x plus 4 rupees from product Q, that is Q, Q means Y. So we can say objective function of this problem is maximize Z equals to 3x plus 4y. Z is nothing but just indication of optimization. Optimization in this case maximize, Z maximize. In the case of cost time, it is Z minimize, okay. So in this case we have for objective function we have to consider profit as or cost related information only. In this scenario they have given only profit related information, so I am considering 3x plus 4y because only two variables are there, decision variable are 2 in this case. Suppose there is a P, Q or 3 types of products are there, means decision variables will be 3, okay, X, Y, Z also we can assume like that. So here only we have 2 variables. So this is how we will make a mathematical formulation of objective function. Very simple, I will brief it. There are 2 products here, we have renamed that as X and Y, and objective function is here maximize because profit information, profit must be maximized. So product P gives 3 rupees per unit, 3x, product Q gives 4 rupees per unit, 4x, 4y, okay. Maximize Z is equal to 3x plus 4y, that's simple. So now let us concentrate on subjective constraint, okay. We have made an objective function for mathematical formulation, okay. Keep in your mind, one thing you should keep in your mind, if you want to make a mathematical formulation, just prepare this tabulation. Just prepare this tabulation. This is very useful you to comprehend or make a mathematical formulation. Why I am preparing this, how I am preparing this tabulation, I will tell you, okay. For the problem, same problem again I have copied here to make you direct understanding of this, okay. Here forget this tabulation, okay. I will tell you there are 2 types of product, okay, P and Q. Product P, product Q, okay. I have mentioned the product P and Q same, and product P requires 2 hours of work in machine shop, so I have put a machine shop column, and 4 hours of work in assembly shop, I have put for assembly shop, okay. So here one more thing is there, it earns a profit, there is also profit information, so I have put another column called profit, okay, profit. So product P, product Q, machine shop, assembly shop, profit, which are given in this problem only, that is I have tabulated to make a easy comprehension. You can ask me where this information comes from, okay. Look at here, in one day the industry can't use more than 16 hours of machine shop, which means to machine shop there is available capacity, required capacity only this much, 16 hours, more than this can't be used, and machine shop, and 22 hours in assembly shop, whereas in assembly shop there is a availability of 22 hours, okay. Product P requires 2 hours work in machine shop, product P requires 4 hours work in assembly shop, and product P gives 3 rupees per unit profit. That is simple. Product Q requires 3 hours work in machine shop, 2 hours work in assembly shop, and product Q gives 4 rupees per unit of profit. 4 rupees per unit of profit. Okay, and machine shop 16 hours, assembly shop 22 hours. So after making tabulation like this, it is very easy to derive everything whatever you can have to derive. Then let us move to another slide. So here I have just copied that tabular form just we done in the last slide. Okay, product P, product Q, available hours per day, machine shop, assembly shop, profit. Let us derive the make a mathematical model. Let us derive the subject to constraint out of which. Okay, so look at here. Total hours of machine shop required for both types of product. Okay, in the machine shop means their product Q also have to go, product P also has to go. Product P and Q have to go through machine shop. In the same way, product P and Q have to go through assembly shop. Okay, for that including, and you know, product P as X, product Q as Y. Okay, so which means total hours of machine shop required for both types of product, we means 2 in the machine shop, 2 plus 3, 2 plus 3, 2 plus means 2 means P means X, so 2X plus 3 Q means Y, 3Y. That's very simple. We are concentrating on first constraint, that is machine shop. Okay, machine shop, which are affecting to say both product P and product Q. So let us concentrate on second constraint, that is assembly shop. Okay, total hours of assembly shop required for both types of product is, let us look at here, 4 hours of product P, 2 hours of product Q. 4 P means X, 2 Q means Y, which means 4X plus 2Y, 4X plus 2Y. Okay, hence the constraints as per the limited available resources are 2X plus 3Y lesser than or equal to 16, 4X plus 2Y lesser than or equal to 22. You can ask me how we have taken 16 and 22. That is just in the machine shop 16 hours available hours is 16. I have taken 16 here. In the assembly shop 22 hours is available. I have taken 22 hours. Okay, then you can easily understand there are two subject to constraint in this case, that is machine shop and assembly shop. For machine shop I have made a separate constraint. For assembly shop also I have made separate constraint. So we have two decision variable in this case and two subject to constraint. Suppose if we had one more subject to constraint, we also had to consider that here. Then we could have 3 subject to constraint. Whereas here we have 2 subject to constraint. And you can ask me how I have taken this lesser than or equal to. Why not equal? Why not greater than or equal to? Okay, I will tell you why. In the machine shop, only 16 hours is permitted to work. 16 hours is permitted. More than 16 hours can't be produced. That is why I have put in a restriction. So by product P and Q, which means X and Y, product P and Q, only lesser than or equal to 16 hours can produce, can work. Okay, there is a restriction, 16 hours. You can't go more than 16 hours because available hours is 16 hours. So I have taken lesser than or equal to. I am not considered greater than. Greater than means more than 16 hours. Okay, so by product P and Q, it can work up to 16 hours or it can be lesser than 16 hours. That is what I mean. And in the assembly shop 22 hours are there. Here also same concept, lesser than or equal to, not more than 22 hours, because available capacity per day is 22 hours in assembly shop, 16 hours in machine shop. So this lesser than or equal to, greater than or equal to depend upon the information given in the problem. In this case they have told us only available hours per day is this much, so we have restricted that. Okay, that's simple. And since the number of units produced by both product P and Q can't be negative, there is some process now from product P and Q, so it should not be negative. That's why we have to impose non-negative restriction. X is P, Y is Y. Okay, X must produce greater than or equal to 0. It can't be lesser than or equal to 0, greater than, because yes, X that P won't produce. Say for example, one day there is no production, there is a stoppage of production in the P, so it could be 0. Okay, if there is a production, it could be greater than 0, it can't be lesser than 0, it can't be negative. So we have to impose non-negative restriction for both, for all the decisions variable. In this case we have two decision variable X and Y, we have imposed non-negative restriction. Non-negative restriction in the sense there should be something produced. Okay, so final mathematical formulation of this problem could be this, so we have formulated that as Z maximize. This is a objective function, and subject to constraint just we formulated in the earlier slide, and non-negative. Okay, if you want to know how it comes, I will show you. Just look at here, these are subject to constraint, these two are subject to constraint. So same thing I have considered here, 2x plus 3y lesser than or equal to 16, 4x plus 2y lesser than or equal to 22, that is subject to constraint. And Z maximization, this is Z maximization we formulated in the as a objective function. Same Z maximization I have considered there. Okay, so which means this is objective function, these two are subject to constraint, and this is non-negative. Okay, so there are two decision variable X and Y, and two subject to constraint. One is machine level and assembly level, and we have restricted that there should be some production. So this is how we will make a mathematical formulation. Hope you have a thorough understanding of how to make a mathematical formulation. In this example we had only two decision variable. If there is more than two decision variable, it will be plus 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 like that, 3x plus 4x plus dash plus z and so on. If there are more than two constraint also you should consider. So this is the way how you make a mathematical formulation. Thank you so much.